Guys, Ash here coming at you today with another Raid Shadow Legends Champion guide. It is Marquess, the Spirit Affinity, defense base, rare champion from the Demon Spawn faction. Is this champion kind of a niche arena NUKER and that's about it, not really worth upgrading? Or is she really a diamond in the rough that can be a powerhouse damage dealer for you in multiple areas of the game? Let's go ahead and decide today based on the guide that I'm about to show you guys. So an elf from the Boneyard with no name, what a name, with a, is that Darko Elhain there as an avatar? Says guides for a little greedy here, elf from Boneyard with no name. They want guides for Rosin, Skytouch, Marquess, Elfguard, and Deathhound. That's an uncommon and a common champion. One for each rarity. Okay, well, there you go. Well, we haven't done any of these champions except for Marquess. I guess that's why they're requesting them. Well, let's start with Marquess, because she's probably, I'm not sure she's my favorite out of the bunch, but she's up there. Demon Spawn, as we said, Spirit Affinity. She looks pretty cool, right? She's got kind of the Demon Spawn look, let's be real. I've seen this kind of character model so many different times. The kind of the Kratraxa character model, the Umbral Enchantress character model. But she's pretty cool. She's kind of like silver or golden or whatever. A silver, Ash. Where's the silver, bro? Barely. Maybe it's a stretch. Bronze plating is what the word I was looking for there. Again, defense base. Her base defense, though, isn't too high. A 10-13 is pretty low for a base defense on a defense-based champion. One of the lower ones that I can remember doing a guide on thus far. Her speed is also just woefully, dreadfully low at 89. Any speed under 90 in this game, I don't even care if it's a rare champion, that's very slow, and you ought to know that when investing in the champion. On the A1, Disdainful Swipe attacks one enemy. We have a 30% chance to place the weak version of Decrease Attack. Okay. Not bad, not good. Crush the Weak on the A2. You don't need to book this for the cooldown. It's 100% AoE attack with a 50% when booked. Weak version of Weaken. Okay, do we really care about that? Not really, but read the next sentence. Deals extra damage to enemies with the Weaken debuff. Okay, how much is extra damage? Well, I'll tell you how much it is. It's a 3 multiplier added to a 4.6 multiplier. That's really like a Magnar-esque, worth of damage from a rare champion. Defense-based. That's really, really good. However, her defense doesn't scale like a Magnar, granted an HP champion, a little bit apples and oranges, but it hits freaking hard. Okay, on the A3, free solid. Attack one enemy, 100% chance to freeze them. It's actually a pretty good ability. It's on a 4-turn cooldown for a rare champion. Just to have a 1-turn lockout on an enemy. Really good for secret rooms, especially in progression or Doom Tower floors against the most annoying champion that you're facing, or faction wars. Against the Valkyries, the Siphies, the Man-Eaters, the Warcasters. Those annoying champions, right? Just lock them out. I love it. Then she has defense and faction crypts by 15%. Not the best in the world, but we'll take it, especially if we don't have any other faction crypts or all aura champions on the team. So already out the gate, we can say Arena, she's great. She really is. She's tanky and hits freaking hard. Campaign locations, well, I don't know. I mean, Nightmare campaign, absolutely. She's very good. But she's not like a campaign farmer, okay? Spider's Den, you'd be doing just as good, if not a little bit worse than your starter champions. Spider's Den, I'm trying to think of like areas she's really shining here. Any of these areas where she's rated over a 4 in the game, she's good for progression. She's going to be good. She's going to be helpful there progressing through the game. She can be a pretty reliable progression DPS damage-based champion, mainly in any dungeon, especially if the affinity matches up. So against Force affinities, against Spirit affinities, and against Void affinities. I would not be running her against Magic affinity bosses. Why is she good? Because she deals a ton of damage, a little bit of CC, the decrease attack if you need it against bosses, and, of course, she's defense-based, so unlike a lot of rares out there, she's a little bit easier to keep alive, okay? The newer dungeons, not so much. So really, we're looking at Faction Wars, 5 out of 5. We're looking at Arena, again, I would say like a 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, somewhere in that neighborhood, I feel like 4's too low, 5's too high, right? So somewhere in that neighborhood, and then of course progression anywhere else. All right, we'll submit it. Let me show you how I have her built. I have her in like a super kind of all-around build, right? That I think that the majority of you guys could actually utilize in dungeons and faction wars, and you can still use it in the arena, but it's not perfect for the arena. We'll talk about what changes I would make, right? So here she is in all her glory. That's right, I have her in lifesteal gear. You know what? She deals so much damage that she can basically just keep herself all the way healed pretty much all the time, in case unless it's a massive crit hit from a boss or something, right? Just by getting the recouping the damage or the heals from the damage that's dealt. So lifesteal, I feel like it works fine on her, right? And I would run this in secret rooms in Doom Tower, which I'll show you in today's video, and I would run it in dungeons as well. You can run it in arena, but of course, in the arena, it's best to have savage or lethal gear on this champion, okay? So that should be a given to you guys, especially you veterans out there by now, but it deserves a mention. There's another change too. So I'm going to start in arena today, and you'll notice the first thing about her total stats, 206 accuracy, is not going to be enough to consistently land that decrease attack, the freeze, and most importantly, the weaken so we can get the extra damage. But keep in mind, on that A2, that weaken, even fully booked out, is only 50%. It's not reliable enough. We want her to be getting that extra damage, that significant extra damage, every single time. Thus, to utilize Marquess to the best of her, the best of what she's got, right? To get the full utility out of her, we really want to be setting her up with another AoE weakened champion. A champion like, I don't know, Ryan the Conjurer, who we're going to use in today's video. So that's the best bet. However, if you're early game, it's like super early game, and you pulled Marquess and you want to use her as your nuker, you can still get by. I'd probably just go a little bit higher on that accuracy. Try to aim for, in early stages, bronze or whatever in arena, 200 will be more than enough. I think 100 will be more than enough. But as you scale, you might have to up that a little bit. Same thing with dungeons, okay? So we're going to start out in arena. Before we move to secret room, I think secret room 4 on Doom Tower Hard, Spirit Affinity only rares, we're going to go ahead and put some accuracy on that banner instead of defense, which we have right now. So right now we have our defense, 3,500, great. I mean, the more the merrier, right? Stat priorities on this champion, obviously it's going to be crit rate at 100%. It's going to be some crit damage and defense, and then accuracy and speed, right? Kind of in that order, right? So easy enough. Also noteworthy, we don't want to totally neglect HP. We don't really want her pulling aggro. She's not necessarily a tank, even though she's defensive-based. She can take a hit, but you don't want her tanking for the team, right? So, although in a lifesteal, you could do a lot worse, right? Blessings. Hero Soul, way to go. Well, 2 options, right? Obviously. Hero Soul or Phantom Touch, right? The extra attack's not gonna, mean anything. To be clear, attack on both of these blessings, it's not gonna do anything for a defense-based champion. However, now's a good time to say, in the arena, we also want an increased defense champion setting her up. Increased defense going to help her stay alive longer and deal more damage, because obviously she's a defense-based nuker, right? But I like Hero Soul. Increase the damage inflicted to bosses and their minions according to the number of living enemies. It depends on where you're using this, right? But in areas like Ice Golem, whenever there's minions in a boss, it can be some nice extra damage. Of course, again, Phantom Touch, getting extra damage off that A1. I mean, you can use both. You can use either or. I'll go with Phantom Touch for a while. Who cares? Variety, right? Okay, so in terms of masteries on this champion, we went with a very, very typical arena build on this champ. We went defense, we came down, we grabbed blast proof, we went down to shadow heal, which is interesting. I would not choose this again. Is it worth redoing them? It's free, why not? I always grab Resurgent. These masteries were actually pretty old. But actually we don't need the crit rate, but we also don't need the attack. So what are you going to do, right? This is an arena mastery. Like, even if you're not building Marquess, these are the masteries that I go with on my arena nuker, right? So you guys can kind of watch along, we have an option, Opportunist or Cycle of Violence. If we know we're going to be setting up with a Stun, Sleep, Fear, True Fear, Freeze, Petrification champion on the same team, the team I'm going to run is going to have Prince Kymar and Mithrala. So we have Petrification and Sleep. We're going to go Opportunist. Otherwise, we go with Cycle of Violence, right? We're going to go with Kill Streak, and we're going to come down with Helm Smasher. Okay? Those are the masteries I love for an arena nuker, shield breaker. I could go through all of them, but they're pretty intuitive. Then we have a choice. Do we want to go support or defense? If we're relying on her to place the weaken, we should probably go support. If we're relying on somebody else, we can go defense. I'm going to go defense. I'm going to switch things up a little bit here. Well, normally I would go Defiant and improve parry, mitigating critical damage, but I'd rather pick up the defense because she's a defense-based nuker. So we'll go tough skin, we'll go blast-proof, excuse me. With the defense, we'll go resurgence, we'll go with delayed death, and we'll come down with retribution. I actually do think I want to go with methodical instead of going with deterrence. So those are going to be the masteries on Marquess. If I went support tree, I'd just go with accuracy, accuracy, accuracy. If I had a basic set on her, which I don't, I would go Lore of Steel. If I really wanted to land that decreased attack, I would grab Sniper pretty much no matter what, because that will bring it to 55% chance on the weaken and a, 30% chance or something on the decreased attack on the A1. So that's kind of the route that I would go on the support tree if you did want to go there instead of defense. But I do think offense is pretty close to mandatory on this champion. You can get utility out of her even without masteries as well, so that should be a consideration as well. All right, let's go ahead and take her into the arena, guys. To start out, I'm just going to go with the teams that I have here. Again, I already told you about the team. I have accuracy in all battles. Of course, I could use speed. You know, I am going to use speed here because we might not beat Lysandra. So let's go with the speed aura. If I'm going against a go first team, like a fast team with the Lysandra, I'll go with a speed aura, obviously. If I'm going against go second team, I'll go with Mithrala and accuracy aura. Obviously, not everybody's going to be running all these same champions, but just kind of pointing that out to give you guys, you know, just things to think about when you're playing with whatever the team is, whoever the team is. So we have Kymar go in. So you can see Mithrala came in with the increased defense on everybody, right? Using an Arbiter on a team like this, it's nice to have the speed boost, nice to have the reviver, but the increased attack isn't going to set up Marquess. We need to increase defense champion. I like Mithrala. Now we can come in and land those weakens. Now we have... Well, Mithrala lapped her. Now we can have, so did Kymar, not ideal. Now we can have these nukes come in. So we'll slow it down and see what kind of damage she can do for a rare champion. What she got? Boom, 58k, 40k. Not too bad. 2 Magic Affinity champions. We talked about this earlier. Against Magic Affinity, keep in mind, obviously, you're going to get weak hits, right? So probably not the ideal first team to run her against. Let's see if we can find some, there's some Force Affinity on this team, along with a Spirit Affinity. Perfect. So let's go ahead and start. I don't want to start on auto. Oops. Really quickly, guys. Thanks to hellhades.com here, the multipliers. We have a 5 multiplier on the A1. That's very strong, albeit her defense is kind of low. A 4.6 on the first nuke, as I said, and then a 3 on the second nuke on the A2. It's godlike damage rating from a rare champion. And then a 6.5 on the A3 on this champion. Very good. All right, let's do it again. Increase defense on everybody. CC the enemy team so we don't have to worry about her speed. Come in there, place weaken on everybody, and she's going to crush the weak. Boom, boom. Barely even saw it, right? That's a really, really good powerhouse nuke for a 2 Magic Affinity. I'm not going to go on it. But 3 Force? Yes, yes. All right, after this one, I'm going to show you the Doom Tower. I'm going to show you how much damage she can put out for a rare champion. She's about to outdamage every rare on my account, really, you know? Okay, crush the weak. Not too bad. Again, the Reviver stays alive, so the Drakes, we love ya. You'll see the decreased attack isn't going to hurt her at all, obviously. We don't even need to cleanse it. However, it is going to decrease defense, will mitigate her damage as well, excuse me. Now we come in again, and everybody's dead. Not bad nukes for a rare champion. Certainly a fun champion to play around with. All right, Secret Room 4, Doom Tower hard. I'm going to run it with a 4 champion squad. We could put in like a Gnarlhorn or a Corpulent Cadaver in the 5th spot, but we don't need it, okay? Yeah, that's it. Let's try it out. So, we have some of my favorite rare champions on this team. All 4 of them, really, guys. Abyssal, Soulbond, Shadowbow Turlac, and Marquess. She came in there. She didn't land her... they have block debuffs. I was going to say, she didn't land her freeze, guys. No, they don't have block debuffs. My bad. So, redo doesn't cost us anything. We need to make a change. We need her to land that freeze. But more importantly, we can't have resists on that weaken. She's bringing the weaken, you know? So, let's go to recently used, and let's make that swap that I told you guys about earlier. Let's take off the defense, even though we have a lot of speed on that too, huh? And let's go to accuracy. And then let's go... I basically want anything that has a little bit of speed on it. I don't like sacrificing too much speed on any champion. The speed is the name of the game in Raid Shadow Legends, with some niche exceptions. But now, here at 302 accuracy, she's going to be way better, especially since we don't have her set up anymore, right? So let's go back to Doom Tower, go back to Secret Room 4, and now we can get things cooking here. All right. So, it's nice that we have Abyssal on the squad, because Abyssal has the weak version of increased defense, which is going to give us more, they did have block debuffs up. I didn't notice it the first time. Either way, can't go wrong. Too much accuracy. I'd rather have accuracy in, the point stands, right? I'd rather have more accuracy in PvE content. Listen, compared to the rest of these champions, she's already way more tanky, you know? So we don't need her to be even more tanky, and the defense isn't going to take a lot of damage away from her. So you can see we got some weakens landed there, 2? And we get a lot of bonus damage there too on those 2 mobs, so not too bad. I'm wondering if she's going to outdamage Soul Bond. I talked a big game, but let's see what she's got. The nice thing too about that weaken is she can come back and usually, come back and have another shot at 2 hits. Before the first weekend expires on the enemies. You know what I'm saying? So she goes Crush the Weak again. She lands, 1, 2, 3 weekends that time. Not bad. Again, we don't have Ryan the Conjurer setting up with the weekends. We're still going to get that bonus damage on a few enemies. It's nice. All right. So this is the third wave. Freeze solid. Nice multipliers on that A3 too. Sometimes you don't need to freeze him if you kill him. Am I right? Crush the Weak again. Nice damage. Nice bonus damage. What do you think? What do you think damage-wise, guys? Is she going to outdamage Soul Bond? We'll see. We will see. Okay. 71 turns. Soul Bond, 433. Marquess, 739. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. A really good damage dealer, even without the weakened setup, even herself doing it herself. Really cool rare champion, guys. Is she for everybody? Certainly not. If you already have an Arena Nuker, if you already have a Go Second, she can be used on a Go Second team as well, right? I would think about either having a Cleanser or having higher resist on her. You don't want her to get CC'd, obviously, then you don't have a nuke at all, right? But she can serve a Go First Nuker, a Go Second Nuker. She can help in progression for damage. Little bit of CC built in there as well. She can serve your needs, especially if you need help in faction wars, in Doom Tower secret rooms like this, or you just need kind of a tankier damage dealer that's not super expensive to upgrade like an epic or especially a legendary champion. So again, you guys, buyer beware in a sense that she's not super endgame viable outside of secret rooms, but buyer invest if this is exactly what you need. Guys, Marquess is a very fun champion, to say the least. Thank you for watching the guide all the way till the end of the video. Keep the guide requests coming. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.